Hello aspiring programmers, my name is Lee Shaver, and this video is about designing video games with Python, specifically PyGame and PyGame Zero. I am not a professional programmer, I am not a software engineer, I'm just a guy who loves learning new things and sharing my learning with others. All of the information in this video came from this book, Coding Games in Python. This video assumes that you already have Python installed on your computer. You also have PyGame and PyGame Zero installed. If you do not and need help with that, check out the card here to get started with that. Use this video wisely, pause it, fast forward it, rewind it, review parts that you need to, look closely. If things don't work, ask the internet, work the problem, and at the end of this video there are some troubleshooting strategies. Happy programming.
So Shoot the Fruit is a very simple game
which introduces actors, location coordinates, conditional statements, and functions.
where the player clicks on a fruit and gets a message, clicks off the fruit and gets a different message, and then the fruit relocates to a random position. So here's the pseudocode in the form of a flowchart. The game starts, and there's an apple drawn on the screen, and then the game asks a question over and over again. Is the mouse clicked? If it's no, it just keeps asking that question. If the mouse is clicked, and then it asks another question. Has the player clicked the apple? No, it displays a message that says you missed, and then it ends the game. If the answer is yes, that the player has clicked the apple, it displays another message, and then loops back to draw another apple and ask if the mouse is clicked.
Okay, first I'm going to open up the Python idle window. This is the shell. Here I'm going to create a new file, and this will open up the editor window. I'm going to save this. I'm going to call it Shoot the Fruit. Place it in the folder that I have on the desktop. It's very important that we have all of our elements for the game in the same folder. So I have a folder called Shoot the Fruit, which is the name of my game, and in there I have a folder named Images. So here I'm defining a variable called Apple, and I'm saying that it is an actor, which is like a sprite in Scratch, and it's looking for an image called Apple in my images folder, in my source folder. So if I go to Shoot the Fruit, in my images folder, I have a file named Apple. Okay, at this point I'm going to run my code, and I have two options to do this from the editor window. The first is to open up the command prompt on the machine, type B, type PGZ run, which is PyGame Zero run, and then I'm going to drag that file into there. There it is. The second way to run a program is to actually run it from the editor window, but we're going to need two lines of code. First is import PGZ run. Because at the beginning, it's importing the module called PyGame Zero. At the end, I need that to actually run it. So here, as long as my game is saved, I can go to run and run module. There's my game. So at this point, I'm going to test my game again. Aha! Okay, so it's working. It says if the mouse is down, then print nice shot. Anywhere I click, it says nice shot. My program is working. But now I want to add a conditional statement. It says if, when I press the mouse down, if it's touching the apple, then I can say nice shot. Forgot to indent here. Oh, so I'm clicking, but I'm not touching the apple, and it's not saying anything. So that's working. If I touch the apple, it says nice shot. Great. Now I'm going to add some branching, which is how Python makes some decisions. So if I'm touching the apple, it's going to say that. I'll say otherwise, if I'm not touching the apple, in other words, if that first statement is not true, then do something else. And we do that with an else statement. Okay, so if I click the apple, it says nice shot. Great. Every time I touch the apple, it says nice shot. If I click off, it says I missed. And it kills the game. Great. My code is working. But it's no fun right now because the apple stays in one spot. So we're going to go up into our code. And right now, this is where we place the apple at the x equals 300 and y equals 200. So instead of that, we'd like it maybe to do some random position. So whenever it calls this function, place apple, which we've defined up here, we'll place it in a random position. And here's how we do that. Okay, so we're using this function called randint, which is a random integer. But this is a function that we need to import from the random module within Python. So at the very top of our code, after we've imported pgz run, the apple is in a random position, and it's moving to a random spot. And if I click off, it should quit the game. You missed. Quit. So I've made some modifications to my game. You're invited to do all sorts of modifications, whatever you want. So with this one, I now have a score. So I made a variable called score. And every time I click, it adds or subtracts from that score. And it also will not quit the game. It just is in a loop for as long as I want to play. If I click off, it says nice try, and it reduces my score. Oh no.
Here are some common debugging strategies. Have you indented properly? Is everything spelled correctly? Are there any extra spaces at the start of a line? Have you confused any numbers or letters such as 0 and O? Have you used the correct case for all letters? Do opening parentheses have a matching closing parenthesis? Does every quotation mark have a matching closing quotation mark? Have you asked someone else to check your code? Have you saved your code in the correct location? Have you saved your code since you last made changes? Have you asked the internet?
Happy programming.